We're back. The air smells better. The grass is greener. Your dog is smarter. It's Husker football season, and we here on Big Red Wrap-Up are going to get you ready for the Cincinnati game in just 2 days and preview the new Husker squad. Big Red Wrap-Up starts now. Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Severe, and welcome to Big Red Wrap-Up on Nebraska Public Media. A lot to get to tonight. We want to hear from you, the viewer, as always. You can connect with us on Facebook, X, our Big Red Wrap-Up pages, any of the places you want to go, including you can send us an email with your questions. Text us at nebraskapublicmedia.org. Our phones are also standing by, ready to take your calls as well. At the end of the show, we'll answer as many questions as we can and as time permits. Now it's time for our sideline survey. This week's question is, if the Huskers do lose, who's the first team they lose to in the season? Currently, Michigan sitting at 30%, and Penn State. That's week 11. I just want to point that out there. Are the ones that are leading currently. I personally have them losing to, I believe, Minnesota first, which is getting 11% right now. We are joined by the former Huskers, Jay Moore and Damon Benning. Initial thoughts on just the feeling of going into year 3 of Matt Rhule 2025.
Yeah, it feels good. I'm very, very optimistic. I think there's a lot of things to be optimistic about. Obviously, you can look at what Rhule's done at other places in year 3. Obviously, Nebraska's vastly different than Baylor and Temple. But I think the weapons he's brought on through the transfer portal and recruiting, the coaches he's brought on, offensively, defensively, and the talent he's kept and on the roster. I don't know how you can't be optimistic and excited about what they have. And I can't wait for Thursday night to see what the product looks like, and I think it's going to be darn good. Now, I'm not comfortable saying that this is a playoff-type team, but my ceiling is very, very high for this team in year 3. And there's a lot to be excited about, and I think there's a lot of there's a lot of the talent's there, and the coaches are there for this thing to really take off.
They're confident. That's the thing that I've noticed this offseason. They're extremely confident.
Yeah, I mean, they've kind of done this for so long. You know, you go all the way back to the bowl game, that preparation, a second year with Coach Holgorsen. You know, Raiola's paid a price off the field. And defensively, I mean, they hear the whispers. They hear can they stop the run? Are they big enough? Are they this? Are they that? And you know, on paper, you could make the case he's upgraded his staff. No disrespect. I think Evan Cooper was a tremendous eye for talent, really, really good program builder. Tony White coming off a couple of top 20 defensive performances. He's had to turn some coaches over, and that's not easy to do. But on paper, I like what they've done, and confidence is the thing. We talk all the time about year 3, Coach Rhule. The biggest difference for me is they're now in a point where they feel like they can defend the culture. They don't have to learn it. You know, they don't have to have those constant checks and balances. The culture's in place. Now they get a chance to defend it, and they've got the monkey off their back with the bowl game.
You know what makes a coaching staff a little more confident? Second-year quarterback they think is going to do a good job.
Yeah, I tell you what, having a talent like Dylan, they're able to bring in, play as a true freshman, have a really good year. I mean, I was very impressed with them last year, but now you get him in year 2, a full spring, a full off season, a full fall camp with Dana Holgorsen.
Yeah.
You surround him with weapons on at the wide receiver position. You bring in talent at the O-line position, and the depth at the O-line position is, I don't know, I can't think of a year when we've had the amount of depth there at all 3 positions. So everything's adding up. That, I mean, his stock is rising, obviously, and the talent's been put around him. And again, we're going to see a much improved Dylan Raiola in 2025.
Maybe I'm buying into the hope, but he's 15-1 to score the first touchdown against Cincinnati. Maybe buying the hope. A little bit more running. You mentioned he's paid the price.
Yeah, he is, and he looks really good. I think he feels good. He's finally healthy. And he's got tremendous command. You know, he's able to do check with me's. He gets a couple plays at a time, gets to count guys in the box. When you have that kind of command, that kind of control, and you paid the price physically, I think that's when you start to have fun. And I think Nebraska quietly wants to run the football. Big, strong, deep offensive line. I think right now they're probably better run blockers than they are pass protectors. But you always want your best player to get a chance to show off his talent. So the ball will be put in the air, but I think if they had their druthers, they'd tote the mail.
Let's stay right there and talk about your position, Emmett Johnson, and the depth they have at running back.
Yeah, I think I really like it. I think it's better than maybe the naked eye would appear because they get young in a hurry, right? After Emmett, you're talking about a combined 15 carries, probably right around there. And even Emmett's a guy coming off, a 500-yard campaign, still just the one touchdown. He's got a ton to prove. But I like the versatility. Emmett's probably the closest to do it all. Mekhi Nelson's certainly the most explosive. He is a home run anytime he chances it. Mosee really good with the ball in the open field. I've kind of the bigger back, the hammer, very experienced, came on at the bowl game. And I like Connor Booth. He's changed his body quite a bit. He's got muscles. You can see the cuts. And let's not forget about the hammer and Vince Genatone, who none of those guys could really whip if it came down to it. So I don't mind Genatone getting some touches either.
Yeah, Connor Booth, little scataboo kind of looking.
I tell you what, man, I don't know if they big back shamed him or what, but he looks fantastic.
Necessary, you think, to have a big back? Because, I mean, really, the first three guys are a little bit smaller.
It's nice to have in short yardage. I do like that. I don't think it's necessary, but I think at Nebraska we've been accustomed to having some bigger backs in the past. I mean, DB, you're not,
Yeah,
that 1 year,
you guys,
it's a fat back. It's not a big back. Michael and I, we talk a ton about, short yardage and big not always going together. Sometimes it's your ability to get kind of skinny through the hole and get narrow through those creases. The Marcus Allens, the Emmett Smiths.
Portis.
Portis is a great short yardage back. That's a good pull there. So I think for Nebraska, just kind of understanding the scheme, and that group is competitive. Like that's an ornery bunch. I think it starts with Coach Barthel, who breeds competition. He's a tough guy. He's an East Coast guy, and he likes those guys to run with toughness. I joke with him sometimes. I said, sometimes coaches want the players to take on their style and their personality. Coach Barthel didn't make a lot of guys miss. He's got to embrace some of the elusiveness that a couple of his guys have.
With the wide receivers, you think of the three veterans, right? Dane Key and Isaiah Hunter and Ja'Cory Barney, you put them in there too. But once you start going there, they get real young, but they're real deep.
They are. I mean, obviously with Hunter and Key being the transport positions, you already mentioned Barney, Quinn Clark. There's some other guys who.
Bonner. I love that Bonner.
Again, I mean, there's a lot of guys here. I mean, but look at that catch radius right there. I mean, that's big. I mean, Hunter right here, just long, athletic. And guys who played it,
mean-spirited.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to mix it up out there as well. He'll let you know about it when you mess up. And so I think the depth's there and the talent is there. And going into year two with Dylan, and like DB said, they're going to try to run the football to create these great play action situations, and you get guys sucked up in the box, and all of a sudden the back end's opening up. So it's gonna be fun to see just how this all plays out, exactly what Nebraska wants to do. But I think that's the beauty of Holgorsen's offense is you can get multiple without getting too crazy. And if you want to run the ball, great. Here it is, try to stop it. But you want to bring it up a little bit, boom, we're gonna hit you over top, and you got to be prepared for it.
Before we get to O-line, give me one name out of all of those 7 names we just went through that might surprise.
Surprise? I'll go with Quinn Clark. I think Mekhi Nelson is too oft talked about. He arguably had the best run, I think, of fall camp. So I've waxed poetic about him enough. If you want like a true surprise, I'll go with Quinn Clark.
And his dad was also your 4th favorite back in Nebraska.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's get to the offensive line because a lot of depth there too. Questions at tackle. What do you think happens starting off the season in offensive tackle?
Man, I tell you what, that depth chart was rather not surprising because you've heard about Pritchett coming in, Alabama guy, a really good addition, but there's a lot of oars at the tackle spot. You look at Justin Evans, love that switch for him to center. I mean, that's a fantastic move, and you just kind of piece everyone in there. Obviously, Spindler coming over from Notre Dame, but that tackle spot, I tell you what, having Prohaska being healthy and still there and being hungry and battling through that, man, that takes some character, that takes some perseverance. But it just shows you the depth that they have. I mean, between Prohaska, Gotula, Pritchett. I mean, but the guys
Knack.
Knack. A lot of guys can play multiple spots. It's I know some people are like, what do you do? But I tell you what, it's a blessing to have the oars up there, because we haven't been in that situation. It's been, we have these 5 guys and we might be out of a 6, but after that, it gets real skinny. But that's not the situation this year, which it's going to be fun to see how this all plays out. And the biggest thing might be as well is just the competition.
Yeah.
These guys are fighting for those spots week in and week out.
Quick apology to Cortez Mills' mom. We left him out. My fault. I know he's in the mix.
Yeah, he's again another guy that knows how to practice. He is he's all dog.
Yeah.
You want to guard your yard, let that guy sit on the porch.
Talk about the inside, because some veterans in there, some size.
Yeah, I really like, guard, center guard is really good, right? Between Latovsky, Justin Evans, and Spindler. Not a fake tough guy of the bunch. I actually like the versatility. I let you talk me off the oars with quarterbacks and competition, right? Years ago, you told me you'd like to have just one guy at quarterback. And okay, I'll land the plane. You're probably right, tip of the cap. The oars with the tackle spot, I think they can all play.
Yeah.
Right? You could easily have Pritchett play left tackle, let Prohaska play right tackle. Katula can swing. You don't like what's going on there, you can flip over and move Pritchett to right tackle, Katula to left tackle. He played it a year ago, a year early, right? So it's not like you don't have guys that don't have experience. I do love a healthy Teddy. I think he's confident. I think he loves playing again. And that's huge, right? All 6'10" of him, which he has to negotiate at some point. But you get one of the original tough guys in Tyler Knack, too. So it's not an or because we don't have one. It's if they want to play 10, they could play 10, right? Maciejczak can play at guard. Sledge can play. Turner Corcoran gets a chance to stay inside if he wants to and play guard. Like, those are guys with multiple starts under their belt. We're not hoping, a wishing, and a praying. Those guys have actually played.
And I love having an extra tackle because, I like going unbalanced. I think if you need to really run the ball, you bring that extra tackle in there like they did last year. And any of those guys, I wouldn't do it probably with Prohaska. I don't worry about his knees, but the rest of those guys.
Yeah, they run so much duo, too. It's probably their favorite play, like an extra lineman and getting those doubles right now on the edge. Not a bad way to go.
Let's go to your specialty in the defensive line. Another place where there's a lot of depth. Some guys have some snaps. There's a lot of guys that don't have a lot of snaps.
Yeah, I mean, again, interesting just seeing, you saw the black shirts, right? And you see the single-digit numbers.
Yep.
Elijah,
Captains.
Yeah, captains. Elijah Judy. Bradley Van Poppel, Cam Lenhart, guys you knew were going to be in the mix. Wary, you kind of had, we knew the talent that he had and the abilities. Loved the fact that he's been mentioned more because there was, just immaturities and just he had to grow up a little bit. And apparently he's attacked it and done the right thing. So I think, again, Keona Davis is a guy that has all the God-given ability. I mean, Keona and Nweri, they're next. Those are Sunday guys.
Yes.
Those are Sunday bodies. Those scouts are come in and see those guys like, whoa, like
96,
highlight those,
97.
highlight those guys because they got the build to play on Sundays. Now it's just consistency, but the pieces are there. I know the experience. It's not Nash, it's not Ty, right? These guys can play.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see them evolve and grow and, again, do multiple things. Because we still don't know what this 3-3-5 could potentially look like with Coach Butler.
Right.
It might look a little different with Tony White. So it's fun to see those guys get pieced in there and what they're going to do behind them with those two guys come off the edge as well.
And Jalen George, portal guy. We didn't hear a lot about him because he was in a green jersey, but he's in the mix too.
Yeah, we're gifted. All right, you're a big D-line guy. I watched a couple of practices of him, and with Nwaneri, we would watch him, and we just were impressed by his movement, right? You're talking about a guy that's 6'7", 280 pounds, can play anywhere from a 2-tech to all the way out to a 6, right? That's really good versatility. Jalen George, got a chance to watch him a couple weeks ago. When he hits those pads, and he's got the swat and he's using his hands, it sounds different.
Yeah.
He's got really good footwork, and he's an explosive, powerful guy. Like, that's a guy I could see sitting in and playing that 3 technique, and you wonder if Nebraska can be stout against the run. I don't so much worry about that because I think they know how they want to play.
Sure.
Right? You're talking about a movement front. They're going to be explosive and try to play in the backfield. I'm okay with that, but you want to sit and hunker down? I'll take RVP and guys like George being stout at the point of attack. They can get you there too.
Yeah, I mean, those guys just play with. I always say that some really good D linemen, they're good, but they play with heavy hands.
Yeah, just violent.
There's heavy hands, like they hit you, you're like, God dang, man, that hurts. Like, not like,
Yeah.
they're just strong like that. And Nebraska's got those guys, so it's going to be fun to see it all evolve.
And then in the 3-3-5, you have a lot of some guys like Jackson, Deshaun McCullough, who's coming in.
Yep.
I thought Willis McGahee was one of the best pass rushers they had last year. There's a lot of depth there as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, Ochoa getting thrown back
Jordan
in the
Ochoa,
mix.
yeah.
You know, there's
Might be your best combo guy right there.
So it's going to be fun to see. Again, you had your Tony White 3-3-5.
Yep.
You have your coach John Butler now. Your 3-3-5. Exactly what it's going to see. See how those edge guys, those stand-up guys with McCullough and McGahee and Ochoa, how they're going to work with a Noweri and a Keona Davis on the edge doing those games. I mean, good luck. It's going to be fun to see that evolve and just the weapons that they're to deal with. Nebraska is.
Keep an eye on Dylan Rogers.
Yeah.
He knows how to practice.
And they like
Another
him.
good.
He is absolutely relentless and one of those guys that's annoying to go against. Dylan Rogers will make some noise.
Athletic. I think this defense is athletic. That's what I say. I think for experience, I think they're going to make up with it with their athletic ability. Sometimes you can miss and not do the right things, but if you have good footwork and you're an athlete, you can make up for some of those mistakes you make.
That's what we thought last year, too. And there's a lot of good examples of those guys. Let's talk about the problems it's a good problem. Watson Trent, Shavers, Wright. There's a lot of guys who are in that mix. Bowers, I know he's in there too. There's a lot of guys in that mix kind of in the middle.
Yeah, interesting. And I think they can scheme around strengths, right? Bauer and the law firm of Watson Trent, your downhill guys, right? Hit it and split it kind of guys. Shavers is learning to be a little bit more well-rounded, right? He's had some of the hamstring issues. He's missed a little time, but arguably your best blitzer. Javen Wright, the smartest of the bunch, allows you the most versatility. He can fit in the run game. You don't have to take him out of the game against tight ends. So I like their ability to kind of piecemeal. You want to get big and stop the run, you have pluggers. You want to be athletic and move around a little bit, they can go that route. You want to play with an extra D lineman. You heard Coach Butler quietly said, whether we're in a 4 front or a 5 front, we want violent hands and to play with good penetration. So I think they have some versatility in terms of how they want to play, right? They may play some under or some over front where they can be multiple, but protecting those linebackers and allowing them to be runner hitters. I think this is the most talented group Coach Dvorak has had to work with, and this is after graduating a guy that just made the 53-man roster. But when you talk about talent from top to bottom of those insides, this is the best year for Coach Dvorak.
Bullock didn't surprise anybody. Ted Hendricks is the new outside pass rusher award they've got. You know who's Ted Hendricks? Wright is. Buda Wright is long, tall, in the middle of the field. You're like, he just looks like the mad stork a little bit. You know the secondary pretty well. Apparently you have a kid in there. A lot of depth. There's at least 5, 7, 8 guys who are going to get some playing time.
Yeah, and I like how they do it too. It is really competitive. And you've got your couple of guys that are coming off the bench at that safety spot to back up your 3 veterans of Hartzog, Buford, and Singleton. You've got Guthrie, you've got Benning, and you've got Kahn, who can play in that kind of that field safety role. So there's those guys. Then at the cornerback spot, you heard him talk about Donovan Jones as a guy that you can play as initially a 3rd starter. Really good boundary corner. He's long, he's strong. You get those big boundary receivers.
Yep.
Donovan's a good guy to handle those. You get the coverage ability of Sierra Wright. And the savvy strength of Marshall, who will really help you in the run game, too, especially to the boundary. And I like Sanders and Jeremiah Charles. Charles probably rival for best athlete on campus is probably only Andy Jackson, right?
Right.
It's either Jeremiah Charles or Andy Jackson. If you're looking for case studies of just raw athleticism and explosiveness, it's those folks right there.
Yeah, she's like 10-8 or whatever, 11-8 in the air.
Yeah, he's incredible. I think they ought to do studies on JJ. He is a gifted, explosive son of a gun.
And he can dunk. Which of the battles there on the defense are you most interested in seeing?
I mean, just being a D-line guy, I just like to see all that evolve. I mean, as long as football is going to be around, that game's always one up front.
Yep.
I don't care who it is. That's the most important part of the defense. You can be really good in the secondary, and Nebraska is really good with the depth and the experience.
Yep.
But if they don't get to the passer and they don't stop the run, that secondary is pointless. So I like to see just the evolution of Noweri, Judy, Riley Van Poppel, Cam Lenhart, Ochoa. It's how everything's just going to mix, right? Because you have your D line, but those outside linebacker guys, McCullough, those are guys that are playing the same positions essentially. They're in the D line as well. It's just the metamorphosis of that defense and what all can be doing with different fronts and utilizing all that athletic ability and that talent. Keona Davis, it's going to be really interesting to see a game-by-game case scenario, what they're trying to do and attack those offenses.
Yeah, you could make the case that Cam Lenhart had the best fall camp of the bunch, who has become a really interchangeable piece. You talk about a guy that can play inside or outside. If you can get in the shade and play in a 4 technique, that's really good versatility. Guys like Cam Lenhart, I think we've forgotten about.
We here at Big Red Wrap-Up are bringing back a Husker history segment. Thursday's August 28th, of course, and Nebraska's played twice on that date. We're going to skip past the 2021 loss to Illinois. We're going to go back to 1994 in the Meadowlands, coming off an 11-1 season, and of course, disappointing loss, 18-16, missed field goal against Florida State in the Orange Bowl. Tommy Frazier was having none of that against 24th-ranked West Virginia. Frazier ran for 130 yards on 12 carries. He had 3 TDs. His first quarter, in the second quarter, for 25 yards. After throwing for a score, he added a 27-yard TD run, then added an amazing 42-yard run in the fourth quarter. Frazier also threw for 100 yards. Lawrence Phillips, don't forget about him, 131 yards on the ground. And our own Damon Benning added 19 yards on 5 rushes as well. And the Black Shirts, they pitched a shutout. That's right, Cedric Collins' interception preserved the goose egg. 31-0 was the game there in the Meadowlands for our Husker history. Trivia question, we're also bringing that back as well for Husker Trivia. In that game, punter Darren Erstad had 3 punts averaging over 48 yards. The question is, what professional team did Erstad win a championship with, and in what year? I even know that one, and I don't watch that sport anymore. To answer, go to Big Red Wrap Up on Facebook or X page, give us your answer. We'll draw a winner from the correct answers, have them submitted before 8 p.m. tonight, and we'll award that next week. If you win, we will send you a copy of Sean Callahan's book, his new book about the Huskers, the program's history, curated history of the Cornhuskers. This week's winner will be announced on next week's show. Coming up, while you're answering your question, send us a question for the crew, and when we get to the end of the show, we'll answer those as well. Next up, I sat down with Dana Holgorsen last week. We chatted about a lot of stuff, but we talked about Dylan Raiola, offense, air raid, the Pirate, Mike Leach. That coming up right after this short break as we take a look at some of those great pictures from our friends at Hurrdat Sports. Welcome back to Big Red Wrap Up. We are, of course, inside Memorial Stadium. When you come next into Memorial Stadium, you will have brand new concessions, including what many people are excited about is the street corn and, of course, the beer as well. But we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk to the offensive coordinator for the University of Nebraska in his first full year, Dana Holgorsen. Coach, we appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
What's the feeling now? What's the emotion for you? This is actually going to run 2 days before the game starts. So what's the emotion for you at that point?
Just game day. The camp was challenging. This was just so proud of our kids and the structure of what Coach Rule has in place here and this wonderful facility that we're able to take advantage of in camp when you're not restricted on the time. And I mean, I think the kids got here at like 6 o'clock and would leave at like 9 o'clock and just didn't leave. I mean, they're here the whole time. If they have a couple hours, they just go down there and get some recovery. So. A lot of meetings, a lot of practice, a lot of good work. You get to a point where you got to stop that. The NCAA rules tell you got to stop that. You get on a 20-hour week, and that's what we got into. Towards the beginning of last week, and it's just been fun to flip that switch. You put all that work in right there to get yourself to be able to be successful in games and win football games, and our team has done that, and so we've had a good week of preparation for Cincinnati, and now it's just ready to get to game day and see what we got.
You've had so many of these preseasons, of course, as a head coach. Going back to being a coordinator and that field, what's the biggest difference for you as a coordinator during preseason camp?
Well, not having to worry about all the logistics, certainly. Matt Rule is one of the most structured, organized guys that I've been around, and so that was cool. Being a head coach, especially in today's day and time. I mean, most head coaches are CEO types, like Coach Rule is. I mean, he's an excellent football coach, but so much of his time is CEO type stuff, and that's what my role turned into. My last 2 years at West Virginia, I kind of went to the CEO stuff. I went back to being the play caller for about 3 years, and then with the landscape of college football today. You get pulled in so many different directions. I went back to CEO at Houston. Evidently, it didn't work out very good for me. So I think I'm better in the coach role, in the calling plays role. And it's just what I enjoy. It's what I've done forever. And it's been very enjoyable to work with the players and coach them, teach them, put game plans together. I've really enjoyed that and looking forward to being on the sidelines calling plays game one against Cincinnati.
It's such a long season and even long off season. You kind of have July to get out. How important was it for you to go out and do some other things so you'd have your batteries recharged for the season?
Yeah, I talked to Coach about that when I accepted the job, and part of, my role is not being an off-field recruiter, off-campus recruiter, just because the rules have changed. And so now we got guys that are full-time off the field, on the road recruiters, And so May gave me an opportunity to, just kind of get my thoughts together as far as what, post-spring, what we needed to work on, what we needed to do. But then I took some free time too, and was able to get away. And, I'm an empty nester with my family. Everybody's in Houston. And so was down there a good bit, spending time with them. And then July, like you mentioned, all coaches get away and go do things, And so, took some cool trips and just, really enjoyed life, recharging the battery, so to speak. And when we came back, August 1st, it was go time and was refreshed and needed every bit of it because that 4 weeks was a grind.
I've heard you talk a lot about taking over play calling last year and how it was one of the hardest things you've had to do in football. First, what was the hardest part about that? And was there a point during those 4 games and then the bowl game where you said to yourself, I want to keep doing this here at Nebraska?
Yeah, absolutely. It was just a handshake agreement in the beginning. I came here on the bye week before Southern Cal, and just kind of, I didn't know if I could do it, because it was a totally different playbook, and it's like you don't speak another language and then you try to learn Japanese in a week. It's very, it was very challenging. But after about 3-4 days of it and watching practice and talking with Dylan, the communication with the technology with the button being able to talk to him was very useful. So I was just reading it off the paper. I didn't really know what it was, but I knew what it was based on where it was on my sheet.
Right.
And so, just really enjoyed it. Dylan's a whole lot of fun to work with. I think we have really good coaches here on the offensive side, and so that was challenging at first to kind of figure out what it was going to be like. But then once we settled in and I gained their trust, so to speak. And did that for 3 games and had a lot of fun. And just the Iowa game was hard, and so that left a bad taste in my mouth. And so coach was like, just help me try to fix this thing. And so I was like, yeah, I think I want to do it. And so we signed on, agreed upon it, and then just hit the ground running. First part of January, all the coaches were out on the road recruiting for a month, basically, and so I was here by myself for about 2 weeks. We started bringing in some portal kids and stuff, and so I'd spend some time with them when they were on campus, but the majority of the time I was just watching every cut up, every formation, every motion, every play, and I learned it, and so, because that's what coach said. He goes, how much you gonna change? Because if you're gonna change, we kind of need to do it, the earlier we do it, the better. I was like, that's not fair to our staff. That's not fair to Dylan. That's not fair to all these older kids that have been in this offense for 3 years, and so I go, look, I've already done it, so let's just roll with it, Now, I've obviously put my spin on it, and I've stuff that made sense. I'm doing more and more of that, but from a terminology perspective, that didn't change, and I think the whole offense really appreciated that.
There's a phrase here in Nebraska, because of the way Nebraska was, run the damn ball. I know a lot of people are interested. Do you have kind of an idea of like a percentage of run to pass you want to get to at the end of the season? Or how do you handle that?
I always structure it game plan-wise at 50-50. From a practice perspective, from a game plan perspective, it's always going to be 50-50. I got kicked out of the air raid club 10, 12 years ago. I changed my offensive philosophy quite a while ago, and we led the Big 12 in rushing a couple years, So we're going to run the damn ball, okay? And now throughout the course of a game, it's always a feel. What's working, let's stick with it. What's not working, let's change it. That's my philosophy, whether it's run the ball, pass the ball, whether it's tempos. I mix up tempos and stuff based on what's good, what's bad. All about, it's just a chess match with the defense. And I don't have a set, like we need to run the ball 66% of the time, we need to throw the ball 66% of the time. I game plan at 50-50 and then just feel how the game's going.
You mentioned that you probably need 4 running backs in this era of football. Do you feel like you have 4 guys that can go out there and get the job done?
Yeah, it ain't just this era of football. That's the way football's always been.
Yeah.
Those backs, you ask so much of them from a physicality perspective. Running the ball, pass protecting, running routes. All that stuff, those guys get tired. Those guys get beat up.
Yeah.
I do think we got 4 now. I was concerned with it coming in the camp. Feel really good about Emmett. I felt good about Ives, but then he got hurt. Practice 1. But that allowed the younger kids to be able to get a whole bunch of reps. And so, Mackay and Ike and Condor, those guys all, had a good camp, and I feel good about putting them out there. The one thing you just don't know is when it's game time and there's 70,000 people in there, how are they going to react? I have not seen those guys in that situation, so I'm curious to be able to see how they handle that.
One of the other things you said you were concerned about in the last season was the offensive line. Went out and got some more experience with some portal guys. Do you feel comfortable going into the season with the 8 to 10 guys that you have that are in that 2 deep?
Yeah, the older guys that we didn't have in the spring. We didn't have Teddy, we didn't have Turner, we didn't have Henry. We didn't have Gunner, and so we didn't have any of those guys,
Right.
And we didn't have Rocco because he wasn't here yet, and Pritchett was new, but just those guys. What I see with those guys is a bunch of older guys that is bringing experience, and they're kind of playing together as one right now. So I feel really good about the camp that those guys have had. I feel good about the depth and the backups and keep bringing those guys along. Got a lot of young kids, got a lot of numbers. We're able to run, 3 groups all through camp. I've never been able to do that. We maintained health, but we have bodies and numbers and guys that know what to do. I think Coach Raiola is really doing a good job with that group. The cohesive nature of that with O-line needs to exist, and I do think it exists now.
With wide receivers, obviously Hunter and Key and even Barney have done it at a Power 4 level, and then behind that, it's a lot of inexperience. How do you feel about the depth there with your 4th, 5th guys, 6 guys on the wide receiver crew?
The same thing as the running back room. And the older guys I know what those 3 can do. When those lights come on, it ain't gonna bother them. Those guys, they're gonna elevate.
Yeah.
Once we kick the thing off Thursday night. So. It's the young guys. It's Keelan Smith. It's Cortez Mills. It's Quinn Clark. It's Jeremiah Jones. It's guys like that you don't know yet.
Sure.
They've had good camps. They're young. They're going to continue to get better. Looking forward to see who raises the their play once game day hits. The other, Wood, Bonner.
Oh, sure.
I mean,
Do
he's-
everything guy.
He's a do everything guy. So
Yeah.
he's in the same category as those other three guys. We can put all four of those guys out there in 10 personnel and be able to move the ball. So I feel good about the old guys, and I just think that their experience is going to rub off on those younger guys.
In the first couple of questions, you referenced Coach Rule's infrastructure. What about that made it even easier to come on and take this job?
Yeah, I've done it my way for 13 years, and was really kind of with the same people, prior to that for a long, long time. The Hal Mummy, Mike Leach, people of the world, and it's just interesting to be able to see it from a defensive perspective, defensive-minded head coach. I've always been with offensive-minded head coaches, and now from a defensive head coach perspective, it's been good to just sit back and watch how that takes place. Plus the advantage of being at Nebraska with all the resources that we have here, all the staffing, just gives you so many advantages. If kids don't take advantage of the infrastructure, the staffing, the resources from food and nutrition, training staff, all of it, then shame on them, because they got everything they need to be able to get better every single day. So it just makes my job a lot easier from just coaching ball, just watching a lot of video and trying to organize it and try to put the best product that we can out there.
There was one thing that you wanted Dylan to improve on in the offseason going into this 2025, but what would it be? What was it?
Well, the maturity aspect of it was naturally going to happen year two. Year one, what he did from a first year in college perspective was remarkable. There's not many true freshmen that can do what he did, and so then that natural transition of going into year two, being more comfortable with everything, I see it happening on a day-to-day basis. I knew that was going to take place. He needed to work on his body and his mobility. We're not going to do a whole bunch of run game stuff with him, but I don't worry about Dylan in the pocket because he's a big kid that can bounce off people in there, but he needs to get out of the pocket, extend plays, and keep himself safe. If he's getting chased down and doesn't see people and takes hits and stuff like that, that's not putting him in a good place. So he's worked on his mobility. Does a lot more scrambling, extending plays, and then he's excited about tucking that thing and trying to get what he can get and get down or get out of bounds. So I think just the mobility aspect of it is going to be able to help us offensively.
One last question, because I have to ask about Mike Leach. When we covered the Big 12, love listening to his press conference and talking to him on the phone. Talk to me a little bit about what it means to get him into the Hall of Fame. Obviously that rule for having to win a certain percentage of games, but how important do you think what his impact's been on college football, him being in the College Football Hall of Fame?
Well, what is it, a half a percentage or something like that? I don't think there should be a percentage. There's guys that have won 50% of their games that have impacted the game, and if you look at Mike Leach, I don't know who else would be named that has impacted the game on every level. It's high school, it's college, it's the NFL, to where he just had such a unique way about himself that rubbed off on a lot of people. I was fortunate to be able to be with him for 33 years.
Yeah, wow.
It was hard on me 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when that happened to him. He just loved the game so much, and he poured everything into it. He got pneumonia and he wouldn't sit. He wouldn't sit down. He just kept going and going and going. He was in Houston getting tests done, and about 2 days before he passed. That whole week he was in Houston getting tests done, and had to go back home to have practice because he was getting Mississippi State ready for a bowl game. One thing with pneumonia is it affects the heart, and so the only way to beat pneumonia is if you sit down and rest. And he wouldn't do it because he had a job to do. He had football. I think that's a lesson for a lot of coaches that need to understand that your health is more important than the game, and so I learned a lesson from that. That's why I wanted to take that time off after I got let go at Houston. I didn't come here initially because I needed time, and I think that's a good lesson for everybody. But Mike Leach impacted this game in a way nobody else has, from the passing game perspective, and he most definitely should be in that Hall of Fame.
I really appreciate you telling us that story. Coach, thank you very much, and good luck this season.
I appreciate it. Go Big Red.
We'll be back with more Big Red Wrap-Up on Nebraska Public Media.
You know, it was fun, you know. Football season coming back around is always a good feeling, you know. It's just something about the air starts to feel a little different around.
Yeah, I don't even consider it neutral site. I just think it's Arrowhead. Arrowhead seems like part of our DNA, our footprint, you know. So I think this feels like a home game light, you know. I expect to have the same home game intensity. I think, if not even maybe even more so, because we're more excited as a fan base to see this team for the first time. You know, obviously we're playing a great team like Cincinnati. When you have a chance to play another Power 4 team, that's exciting. And to play at Arrowhead for it's the first time playing at Arrowhead, Oscars. Third, probably should know that. First time for me. I like playing a Power 4 team to start. I think it makes your camp much more intentional. It gets everyone's attention early. Very athletic. Very strong as a runner. You know, very competitive. I think we've seen him slide twice, maybe. So when he runs, whether it's a designed run, a scramble, he's trying to get and fight for every yard. So you can tell he's tough and competitive, which I think we've done a good job of making sure that our players see that and know that. You know, you always got to know the type of animal you're hunting, so to speak. And he's big, strong, runs hard. He's tough. He delivers the blow more so than he takes hits.
We are here in the Nebraska Public Media Studio. I'm Michael Severe with Sean Callahan to talk some recruiting. A big get for Nebraska for the 2027 class.
Yeah, Nebraska goes and gets Torrey Pittman from Omaha Central, the #1 player right now in Nebraska for 2027. On track to be a 5-star. A lot of the recruiting services generally don't, rate all their 5-stars early, but he's a consensus top 25 national player. Usually the top 32 end up as 5-stars. He's one of the top safety recruits in the country. Yep. So this was a big deal to lock this up, especially with the way 2026, they didn't really go in on a lot of these Omaha guys. They're going to Iowa State and other places, and they go in and take care of business right away with arguably the most high-profile player in the city of Omaha.
Has things kind of settled down? In July, where we learned about, yes, the settlements here, a lot of different changes, the way NIL works now, we're looking more at that, how 1890 is affected. Has it kind of settled down now, or how do you feel it's been?
Yeah, I think now it's about how do you want to manage your money? Do you want to pay front-load money? Mm-hmm. Do you want to use your rev share and how many other NIL opportunities you can have? But the game is different, and a lot of people did this first year in unique ways. And I think Nebraska has their plan on how they're going to go about it. They feel good about it. Yep. There's some teams that were very aggressive with their front loading and how they did things with how they paid the roster. It's the wild, wild west. We don't really know where this is all going to go and how it's going to shape out. But I know Nebraska really likes where they're at with their rev share and their model and what they're doing.
As former players, what's the biggest thing change, whether it be some of the NCAA rules or what they're doing rev share? What's the biggest change you think, most impactful one you think?
Well, obviously sharing revenue from the university. I mean, all of it's what we've seen the last, 2 or 3 years now. Is this year 3 that we've had NIL?
2021.
Okay, so we're going to year 4, right? So it's all just been new. But I'm totally fine with the players getting a share, getting a cut. Yeah. I have no problem with it. It's making sure they're doing the correct things with it and having the right people in their corner to help them do the natural thing. But I think it's a great thing. I think it will continually evolve. I think the college game, what we know it is now, will look vastly different 4 or 5 years from now, in a good way. I don't think it'll get cleaned up, but every year there's something new that's coming out, little tweaks, because it's going to have to, because it's still, like Sean said, it's the wild, wild west still.
Yeah, I was talking to Zach Bowman, former Husker. He said back then we were living on a little. Now they're living on a lot. You got to adjust, right?
Absolutely. I think for me, it wouldn't have been so much the rev share or the NIL. It would have been the freedom of movement.
Oh, yeah.
Where, I would have had to really pit how much I wanted to win and feel like I was growing and developing emotionally versus the opportunities to play. It's a lot to take on. You have money managers, you have handlers, and you have opportunity. And I think, you'd have to be really well grounded and surround yourself with really good people, because I think the freedom of movement, it'd be easy to make a lot of knee-jerk bad decisions.
That general manager position is huge, right? All these schools are having to deal with a guy or a staff who can figure out where everybody's going to be and where they're going.
The general manager job has gone from a position that didn't exist to jobs now that are paying $800,000 to $1 million per year. So I think it tells you how important it is, and you have to develop a budget, almost like the NFL.
Yeah.
How much do you want to spend on each room? And in the case of like a Torrey Pittman, I think the benefit of a guy like him committing early, collectives and other entities can pay high school guys legally still. So that is kind of the game within the game. Can you find ways to pay money off the cap within the rules? And those are the rules right now where teams are starting to pay recruits earlier and earlier and in order to do things. But you have a budget with the rev share money, and you have to stick to that. And it's not like the old days where the budget was whatever the oil man wanted to write the check for.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's been NIL the first few years, and they're going to try to rein this in. And will they be successful? I don't know if people are very optimistic about that.
That was a Texas Tech reference if you missed it there. Let's get into Cincinnati. Thoughts on the Bearcats?
Yeah, obviously we know Sorsby, Corleone, the interior defensive linemen, some good guys in the secondary. They started off really fast last year, didn't finish as strong. Was last year the first year in the Big 12 or the second year in the Big 12? The second year. So they're kind of filling themselves out a little bit.
Yep.
I know they beat Arizona State last year early in the season. So
that was their last win.
That was
Jeff Sims at quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
So we obviously know what Arizona State got into the playoff last year. Listen, they're going to battle. Sorsby's a heck of an athlete. I think he's physical, a dual threat guy. Nebraska's defense got to be ready. They're barring the 60,000 Nebraska fans, they'll be at Arrowhead. I think they're going to come in, they're going to battle, and they're going to be tough. And Satterfield's a really good coach, and Nebraska's got to be ready to play all 4 quarters. If not, it could be a rude awakening.
We think about the battle between their wide receivers. They got a few transfers in, including a kid from Colorado State that's really fast, against Nebraska secondary.
Yeah, I like that matchup. I think the key for this one, though, for Nebraska is getting Cincinnati off the field on 3rd down, because I think Nebraska offensively will have the opportunity to wear the Bearcats down. You just can't allow Sorsby the leaky yardage and put you in 3rd and 3s and 3rd and 2s, because he let a 6'3", 240-pounder fall forward. I think Nebraska's got to win that game up front with their front 7. And I'm curious, I don't know what you think about this, Jay. Nebraska right now emotionally is built from the back to the front on defense. The older, savvy veterans have got all the interviews. I prefer to be led from front to back. I'm interested to see that chemistry dynamics of a young, inexperienced D-line playing in front of a very experienced secondary.
Yeah, big time. Last year, Cincinnati led the Big 12 in time of possession. Nebraska got slower under Dana Holgorsen. Do you think we're going to have a limited amount of possessions?
I think if you're Cincinnati, that is the plan, because you don't want this crowd to really kind of take over the atmosphere and give the defense energy, give the offense that electricity you want to see. So I think the plan for Cincinnati is they're going to try to slow this thing down, lean on their running backs, and try to grind this game out, limit some possessions, because I don't think you want to get into a shootout against Dana Holgorsen in a game like this.
What do you think of Tawee Walker, right, the kid who transferred in?
Yeah,
What do you think?
and Nebraska's seen him.
They've seen him
so
before,
I
yeah.
think they'll feel good about that. But, QB run game changes the way that you can line up. And, the better Nebraska can cover outside the numbers, the more that they can dictate how many they want to play within the box. Obviously, Satterfield is going to try to formation Nebraska to death and utilize QB run game. So Nebraska's ability to win up front will be critical, only second to being able to tackle in space. If you're a good tackling team, there's nothing more overrated than scheme. So if Nebraska's getting him down to the ground and making him snap it again, I loved Coach Butler's intensity in his answer where he said he wanted Sorsby to feel the physicality early.
Right.
Don't let him start feeling good about delivering. You want to kind of lower boom on that guy. So I like that on the back end, the way Nebraska can approach it.
What we've not referenced yet, and it's been very important in Nebraska, special teams.
Yeah.
The whole new special teams,
Yeah.
whether it's punter, field goal, snapper, holder, everything, along with the coordinator. How important will all that be?
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge. I think you're going to see a dramatic change. I highly respect Mike Eckler. I think he's a fantastic human being.
Yep.
He'd love his energy. His coach,
Yeah, he's
his
good,
coaching prowess is top notch. I mean, it is when you're out there, he's working it. He gets everyone's attention, but his energy is just so contagious that I think you're going to see this evolve into the special teams. We know that the changing into the rugby style of the punter. Avon and Hull are not going to be the place kickers this year, but I think it's a game changer. I think in years past, special teams have been a liability at times. I think it's a weapon now because of Coach Eckler and what he's going to inject into that. It's been asleep for a while, but I think the special teams are they're going to be awake here.
Nebraska's had one 20-plus yard punt return in the last 4 seasons. Haven't
That's
had
gonna
any of the
change.
last 2
I
seasons.
I fully expect that
He
to
does.
change.
They led the league last year. He coached the team that led the
And having
league.
Andrew Marshall back there,
Yep.
catching punts,
Yep.
and some
Ja'Cory
return
Barney.
games.
And Ja'Cory Barney.
Yeah.
Between field position and making field goals, if you assume 3 points
Yep.
per game and a better finishing drive rate for a team that made a living crossing the opponent's 50-yard
did,
line
yeah.
without scoring points, if you factor in another 3 points there, that's without having to extrapolate too far. That's 6 points. That puts you at 30 points per game where you were a year ago.
Yep.
That dog will hunt.
They were top-
That's good enough to win.
Top 25 in successful drives, crossing that 40, 107th in actually finished in drive rate.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's just there was a gap there somehow. Let's check in on the sideline survey. So, when you think the Huskers are going to lose their first game, what team will it be to? And now 29% for Michigan and 29% for Penn State. People are pretty confident on this thing. Minnesota, USC at 13 and 12, and none at 11%. You guys got a pick?
I tell you what, I don't.
You never
know.
want to pick a loss, but if it's going to happen,
They'll beat Minnesota or Michigan, so I don't.
Yeah, I believe that
I don't
too.
feel comfortable saying Michigan. They'll beat Michigan at home.
I want to see Underwood play his first game and get a feel for what he's going to bring to that offense.
And I also think they'll be licking their wounds from Oklahoma.
Yep.
Oklahoma's
gonna be good this year.
Defensively will
Yeah.
be a terror.
Minnesota
for
scares
Michigan.
me because it's coming off a short week at Maryland.
Yeah, and that's probably the one I'd pick if I had to pick one.
Yeah.
But the more I study up on Minnesota, I don't know how they're going to score enough. First-year quarterback, you're relatively new outside the numbers. They're going to pound it, but
Yep.
I've kind of backed off the intimidating place known as Minneapolis. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably take the
my thing is you're going to Maryland. They're going to give you a short week to come back. You go to Minnesota, a place where you struggled, and Nebraska has not won back-to-back road games like that since 06.
That's a wild
They got to
stat.
get. They got
It's
to
an
get over.
unbelievable stat.
Get over that stat, and then win both those games. Then you're sitting in there. You're ranked in the top 12 easily in the playoff.
And
Here's
listen,
one
if Loxley gets good quarterback play, all bets are off with Maryland too. He's recruited well. I
gotta
know he
figure out his
lost the
quarterback
locker
position.
room a year ago, but
Yeah.
if they rebuild that offensive line, I'm not all excited about going there either.
Sure.
They haven't won a Power 4 opener, guys, Nebraska, since
Yeah,
03.
03.
Right.
Even he
Oklahoma
remembers that.
State game. I mean,
Yeah.
they're 0-6 in their last 6 against Power 4 openers.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
When you look at that defensive line, and we talk a lot about the 3-3-5 and everything, but there's times where you see 5 guys lined across.
Yeah.
How difficult is it for that offensive line and that offense to figure out who exactly is coming?
Oh, it's very difficult because you can, whether it's 2 stand-up outside linebackers, a shade, a zero technique, 2-3 techniques.
Yeah.
You can move to the twos.
2 twos.
You can bring guys up from the linebackers, and you can. It's chaos, and that's what they want. They want, because as an offense, you're counting, right? Because you're trying to figure out who's got what, who's coming, depending on your scheme, and you got guys moving everywhere. It gets real difficult, and that's the beauty of it. But also, you can't overcomplicate things too much. I feel like from a defense.
Right.
And one thing I wanted to get back to earlier, when you're playing a mobile quarterback first game, that D lineman, you get a little too excited. You got to remember your
Backside
keys
contained,
and
yeah.
just shoulders parallel to line of scrimmage on the back end. You
Yep.
you got to do the right things, otherwise you're gonna get gashed. But sometimes those guys forget that. They're all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed that first game. They're gonna test them early.
I've likened his escapability to Mordecai
Yeah,
a little
oh,
bit
yeah.
with Wisconsin. Nebraska kind of got cute with their stunts up
Yeah.
front. And we heard both Coach Butler and Coach Snow going all the way back to spring press conferences about affecting the quarterback pre-snap.
Yep.
Where the guys are mugging on the line of scrimmage or they're showing pressure. I think they'll move a ton pre-snap to help, maybe see if they can cause some chaos and confusion without necessarily having to bring pressure.
I love Shavers as a mug guy. I put him in that right over the A gap.
Yeah.
I hate, but as a defensive lineman, the stemming, right?
Yeah.
Early
The late
stems,
moments.
late stem.
Yeah.
I hate late stemming because
Yeah.
you got to trust your eyes. You got to see what you're seeing. But sometimes if you can't see, you can't. It's hard to get a tell on the tight end, tackle, or guard. So I don't like that as much. But
And they'll
we'll
throw
see
a
what they
flag
do.
on you, too,
Yes,
for it now.
correct.
What's your
Yep.
burning question, Sean?
My burning question is, what will this offense look like with Dana Holgerson with a full offseason to get things going?
Yeah, mine is, the versatility of the front four, how it lend itself to stopping the run.
I'll tell you what. I've loved Coach Eckler. I'm see what the special teams looks like.
Yeah.
See how this changes the outlook of the season in that third phase that's been non-existent for a while now.
Mine's the same. Can Dylan Raiola take that next step to make those throws when he has to, get the ball out quickly, convert on third down? If it is that game at Penn State, they could certainly be undefeated at that point. For our picks on this week's game, check out the Facebook page or X page, Big Red Wrap-Up as well. Go to that web page and see what we think about the Cincinnati game. And as a reminder, you can see that game Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central on ESPN live from Arrowhead Stadium. And next Tuesday night, we're here on Nebraska Public Media. We'll recap the Cincinnati game and our next edition of Big Red Wrap-Up at 7 p.m. You can also tune in Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and our website, nebraskapublicmedia.org. Our special thanks to Dana Holgerson for his time, for Jay Moore, Damon Benning, and Sean Callahan. I'm Michael Severe. We'll see you next week right here on Big Red Wrap-Up.